He also
with
has a
Edict.
physical damage that goes through BKB. That's why Leshrac is such a strong pick.
So it's something your carry. You don't have to get something that takes, you know, towers, for example, because Leshrac brings that to the table. You can just pick whatever you feel suits the game the best. Well, they go Void 2 games in a row. Do they have something else in mind? Plenty of options, though. They kind of know what the lane likely is going to be with that Ogre Invoker. They banned the OD, so they are expecting a support Invoker.
You can still get something like a Sven, but as you mentioned, Faceless Void would not be a terrible pick again.
Yeah.
ET Faceless Void, that's been known for a very, very long time, and there he is.
One of the few teams that have consistently played Void despite him being out of the meta. I mean, we don't really know who's in the meta right now as far as carries go, but it might be Void that is, you know, re-emerging, but...
And they have a ton of damage to throw into Chronosphere. Besides Elder Titan, you have Leshrac, Rubik, whatever he steals.
10 seconds remaining.
NEWBEE seeing this. What are they going to be getting? Probably looking for some more lockdown and control. Something to stop Void just being able to time walk around. Or at least, you know,
and you can always go
down.
for Ember Spirit. But alright. So it's a mid-gyro, I think.
Yeah, mid-gyrocopter against the Leshrac. Are we going to see some max homing missile? Or is this still more standard build?
I mean, I heard about gyrocopters building into Veils.
Yeah.
For extra magical damage, especially if you have like these heavy magic nukes on your team.
Sounds crazy, but I like it. I'm a fan. Let's see it. Some Veil Gyrocopter. I mean, he's got so much magic damage. As much as Gyro's considered one of these carries that scales, and with the flak you want to right-click, it's before you have items, all your nukes, they add up.
And you're not going to have mana problems. Usually this hero uses a lot of mana when farming or when in team fight. Now you're going to have a CM on your team, so it's going to be much easier.
Well, we'll see the CCNC mid-Gyrocopter. Sven, how do you feel Sven does this game? What was the idea behind picking Sven as their 10th pick?
Maybe it's just a comfort pick for Yawar. Sven, right now, he got nerfed a couple of patches ago. I think he gets actually nerfed every single patch. But he's still a viable carry. Like, the amount of the damage that he dishes in a team fight is extremely good, and if you get a pick off, you can easily turn that into Roche.
With the burst, it's one of the heroes that can threaten the Void, just being able to kill him off before he gets a chance to time walk away. Here we go. We'll hop ourselves in to game number 2. It is NEWBEE on the back foot. They had a decent day 1, NEWBEE. They were 2 wins, 2 losses, and that was
it looked like it could be a 4-0 for them.
It was, yeah, that's the thing. But starting off day number 2, that was day 1. Day 2, they've started off. Whoa! They want Chalice to get those tower hits, but they're waiting. It's a trap, trying to get those retaliate procs on the tower with the homing missile. They're going for this kill. They're going to look to bring down Chalice. First blood goes Snake King's way on the Ogre. Is there a revenge kill? CCNC gets some trouble. The Stormhammer is there underneath the tower. X-Nova. He's taking tower shots with another Nova coming out. It's going to be 2 kills. It's an all-in 5v5 in the mid lane. Time walk forced out. Ame gets out of there. Some fun early game aggression.
Snake got the first blood. CCNC sadly died there because they body blocked him, and they also got 1 more kill.
But with all those right clicks on Chalice, he still goes to lane with 13 retaliates. He gets more. You know, normally you expect to get like 3 or 4 from the tier 1 tower. He gets a lot. He gets the max stacks. Okay. That's 20 seconds of bonus damage. Oh boy.
Ogre is going to use a stun. That's going to be 3 for NEWBEE.
Alright, 3 bounty runes. We will see Centaur having a very big laning stage advantage down bottom, though, because of these retaliate stacks. Not something Sven can really contest last hits against, or you don't even want to be right-clicked by it, but... So ultimately, Snaking Ogre got the first blood, which means he goes to lane with Stout, Quelling Blade, and Magic Stick, and lots of health regen.
Also has an extra 100 gold on top of that.
Yep. But ET, plus 52 damage. He's got double damage. He's trying to go in for the right clicks, but with the cold snap, he's not having the best time. Snake says, I can right click you, my friend. I'm an ogre. 10 armor with the Bassi. Ogre's actually able to trade against a double damage ET. But again, here we go. ET, he's ignoring the Ogre. He's going for the Invoker. Cold Snap on cooldown for 3 more seconds. Nova needs to be careful. This next Cold Snap, if it came in a couple seconds sooner, they would have actually been able to get that kill. So this is a dual lane that seems equipped to deal with the ET.
Olga right now has 39% physical resistance with thin armor. You're basically dealing half damage to him.
Pretty damn good. This core Ogre, they did use a decent amount of mana. He had to use the Fire Blast just to help the Invoker out because Invoker only has the 4 armor. So level 1, fairly strong for NEWBEE in the offlane. Similar thing for LGD in their offlane. The center already used those retaliate stacks to secure the first wave. 4 last hits with 2 denies. So didn't lose out too much despite all the retaliate being there in place. But he has been right-clicked. You can see here his health down to half HP. He is being bullied a bit by this Centaur.
There's the rocket. 1-1-1 build so far on Gyro.
Yep. Looks like it was used just to make him miss a range creep.
And he's toggling Ring of Bassi on and off.
In the mid lane.
Yeah, try to mess around with the last hits.
Okay. Well, Hazer in top. Somnus is not going to go for it. CCNC will win the race. That one back at top. It's the offlane Invoker, the 4 position. Cold Snap and EMPs. He is bullying this ET, who's still level 1, so level 2.5 on both NEWBEE offlanes. A big creep wave coming in. Nova may just want to leech some XP to try to get his level 2 for this lane. Void, kind of wants level 6 on Void, but at the same time, you're not like a super level dependent hero. You don't mind your support leeching XP as a Void.
You're farming under the tower. He has a Quelling Blade though, so it's going to be much easier. Jumps on Nemesis. No bashes though.
Just hoping to get some free damage in because he knows MSS can't right-click him underneath that tower. Nova gets plus 64, so he's going to get a couple right clicks in here. And MSS is got a Cold Snap. He's going to have to use it. He turns, and with the creeps here, that's going to maybe keep him alive. But nope, he gets the right clicks in between the hits. And Nova gets the kill. He's out of health and mana. He kind of wants to die here. Maybe not to the Ogre of sorts, but he's going to be forced out of this lane now on the ET. Could just go for a suicide, or what's the play here? We'll see what he does in a bit. It looks like he may even go for a pull, he says. I'm not done here. I'm still in this lane.
He wants the suicide for sure.
It's going to pull first, but yeah, like you say, he doesn't want to stay in this lane with no health, no mana. You haven't got any value to your lane in this current state. He's actually going to walk home. He leaves the pull here, not going for the last hits. He says...
He could have suicided. You put Stout Shield in your backpack to die faster and come back to a lane.
Yeah.
It would take less time.
Even with the added respawn time, yeah. That's our mid lane looking. Gyro, 2 points, Rocket Barrage. So not leveling up the homing missile, just the 1 value point so far. And that pull camp did end up killing off the wave, but it pulls the wave back, and that's where he helps out the Void a bit. Double bash, double bash. Mate. With those denies coming out from his bash. Mid lane, how are things looking? Gyrocopter CCNC 13-5 to the 24-3. Leshrac winning the battle so far.
Well, no one is controlling the runes. CCNC got both haste and regen, which will get him to level 5 using the Rocket Barrage to secure some creeps. Top lane.
ET's back with full health, full mana, which means all that bonus damage coming back into this lane. Isn't that Cold Snap, but push it on cooldown. Gotta be careful with that Cold Snap cooldown. Not till level 15 do you get that reduced one. And this lane, I feel like it may start to get hard for Gyro. You're not maybe too worried about dying, because if Lesh goes on you, CCNC doing some good Rocket Barrage damage, but you haven't got the best ability to farm and out CS the Leshrac.
They have the same amount of experience right now. Whoever gets 6 faster will try to grab a kill. Bounty runes just spawned.
CM died, yep.
They're keeping the bounty runes for him because he has a bottle.
Yep, he's going to get the 6 bottle charges out of this. Even, I think, used one on FY maybe, or maybe he just used it for himself. Okay. So, meanwhile, top lane, it was, what, 3 out of 4 bounty runes going the way of PSG LGD. TP in top, CM coming up here. Just do some warding, it looks like. Pile die. Has remained on top of the vision game. Had 3 observer wards. He's going to get some of those down now as he swoops on in. Going to make sure there's no ward on the cliff. No, he's not going to put it there. Puts in lane. Just out of range, though. The Dire Observer would higher up, though. So he doesn't find the ward of PSG LGD. This means the Sven is being left alone in this bottom lane. With that said, Centaur not in the lane right now contesting.
Gyrocopter is level 6 if someone wants to make a movement on mid, try to grab a kill. Siege Creep is approaching, another rune on top.
CCNC getting every single rune, it feels like. Not that he's got a bottle, but denying them from the Leshrac, the key thing here. It's the range creep. Somnus having a A-OK time here as Xnova, I think, rotating in, spelling trouble here, but he's going to pay for this one. He was not ready for the Rocket Barrage plus Cold Snap, and that's a quick, easy kill. Better him than the Leshrac, but ultimately, a kill's a kill, and NEWBEE will be happy to pick that one up.
For sure. They still have cooldown, and the MSS plus Pilot Die should use a smoke and try to grab a kill. Bottom lane looks juicy. Centaur still not level 6.
Now just continuing to get some farm on the Centaur. Casual Bracer picked up. Phase Bracer into Hood, it looks like. It's all magic damage on this Radiant side. You've got Gyrocopter as a mid. 4 points in Rocket Barrage already. Until Sven gets some items, you're not worried about any physical damage coming into play.
They didn't use the smoke, so this deep ward from LGD will scout them out. Oh, they just smoked under the ward.
Yeah, they were
I mean, if you wanted to make this kind of a play, you usually smoke here. They even use the Shrine.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is going to be well read, and they may leave Xnova mid to tank this smoke gank. He puts an Observer Ward on the low ground. It's just going to stand a little bit behind it defensively. But Leshrac has just left lane. Rotating top. They've got Chronosphere. So if there's an opening to use it, I'm sure they would love to right now. But Radiant Vision scouts this rotation at the same time. That was Pilot Eye making his own movement towards that top lane. He gets down some vision for the team. So nothing's cooking for either team with their rotations. Both teams with really good vision game and scouting out all the movements that their
NEWBEE
opponents are
support
making.
still waiting around the mid.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, well, if they're not going to give us a kill, we're going to get a tower, right? CCNC is just going to start right-clicking this one. The Stomp not latching onto CCNC, but at the same time, they haven't got the best lineup to punish these absent heroes. They don't really push all that fast with this Gyrocopter. Another ward. Xnova putting wards on both sides of this mid lane. Really looking to try and keep this team on tower alive. Setting his team up for success. CCNC, is he going for this kill? No. Thought about it, but thought better of it. Nice D-ward coming in from the Rubik.
Not too much action happening at this point, and this is what we've seen yesterday when Queen of Pain goes for Null Talisman and the Bracer. Lash is doing the same thing. Bracer, the best out of those three.
Yes. Everyone's buying braces. Centaur's got one. I don't know if we'll see any on these Agi heroes like Void or Gyrocopter. Looks like Wraith Band is the name of the game there. Double Wraith Band on Gyro. Just the single on Ame. He's hit level 7 now, maxing out the time lock. So he's got the pure right-click damage build here. And the time lock damage is magic, so Ogre with all that high armor is going to still take some decent damage from time locks. Double bash, Ame just going to time walk away.
And that's stolen EMP Rubik, level 6. This is how FY plays. His position 4 gets level 6, even though without any kills. He's only involved in one of those kills, but he takes so much experience. Sometimes even gets the lane for himself alone. Another death by Pilot Die.
CCNC's rotated in, but Chalice has got the Stampede to disengage. And with the Spirit Stomp, they're actually going to sleep up CCNC. The Split Earth follow-up is there, but I don't think they want to commit to this one. CCNC was fairly tanky. Bounty Rune spawning. Xnova wants to get it. He will pick it up, and he will pay the price, it looks like, for this one. He's taking a lot of right-click damage. The Tornado doesn't hit him, though. And as a result, he's going to get back to safety. Chalice still charging forward. Has another Huss Stomp. If he can find a target for it. Noir finds a regen rune up top, but it's going to be PSG LGD claiming the bounty runes and not losing any heroes in the process. Looked like surely Xnova would die there, but he managed to survive.
Yeah, Faceless Void tried to TP bottom, but he got stunned and his TP got cancelled. Otherwise, they would have gladly taken that fight. You could see Somnus hesitating a little bit whether he wants the stun gyro or not.
Yeah, if they had Arme rotating on in, that would have looked really nice for them, but not the case. Void, Midas queued up, so not going for the Battle Fury that we saw last game, a different build from Arme.
I think in the previous game, Battle Fury was justified because he had that Ring of Health from the laning stage, which he wanted to upgrade, and I mean, you still need an item to farm with. Usually on Faceless Void, it's either Hand of Midas or you go for Maelstrom.
For the most part, PSG LGD are going to be pretty happy with this kind of passive laning stage where they're just getting a lot of farm across all their cores. The Sven, though, you are having a much better game. He's got his own Midas. Last game we saw him very under-leveled playing the Sven. For this game, he's had a lot more solo time. He's already hit level 10, used his Midas, and is farming up the jungle with Godstring. It will be CCNC playing this active Gyrocopter. Phase Drums is the build-up he's got queued.
He needs to create space for Sven. Still, he's gonna scale if he gets the items, but Yavar kind of quiet as a carry. He's not involved in many kills.
Would you rather see him try to get more active? Or is he just, it's a Sven, you're happy for him to
In this game, I think it's fine. It's justified. Has a good timing on Hand of Midas, will just continue to farm.
There we go. His Fire Blast stolen by Rubik, so FY just continuing to take whatever spells he can, and whatever creeps he can. Daybolt's mid lane, 18 last hits already for FY. Level 7 on top of that. I don't think he actually took the Experience Tome this game. Not sure where they ended up. I'm sure ET took one, although the second one... Not sure where that was. Maybe Leshrac. Leshrac's level 11.5. He is very high level.
Yeah, it could be Lesh.
It was either him or Void, I feel like. Those are the two high-level heroes.
Yeah, but FY not taking the tome, come on. Ah, there it is. Lesh just bought it.
I mean, I like it on Lesh. Getting this fast level, like, we're going to have level 2 ulti without it, but Leshrac's one of those heroes that you benefit a lot from all these early levels. I guess maybe he was hoping his team would buy it. That's the dream. It's 150 gold. Another Tornado slightly off of X-Nova's ET.
They desperately need levels on this Invoker. Even with the tome, he's only level 6. About to hit level 7 though.
Yeah.
But you want to have that Vex maxed out.
He's got the urn here, but he needs to start building up some charges if he wants to be able to combo it with the Cold Snap. It's PSG LGD. Not looking too intent to get aggressive down bottom right now, but they've just finished off a Yule Scepter on Leshrac, who can very easily rotate down to this bottom lane. Imagine we'll see them look to group up to take a fight. Army with a Midas, he's just going to keep on farming. Midas Maelstrom, the build he's got queued up.
He has full Mjolnir queued up, but he's going to get probably BKB right after Maelstrom, so he can take a fight.
Yeah. Somnus.
Whenever Chinese teams play Faceless Void, it's either Maelstrom, Mask of Madness, and then straight into BKB.
Smoke up on the high ground. That one not scouted by the Radiant. Somnus is very scary with this potential Yule's initiation. Who's he going to find here? CCNC could be the target, but the homing missile's there. Somnus does not want to follow this up as a result. Stampede being popped now as well. He looks to go in for the Hoof Stomp. Can't find a good target. Charles has lost all his mana. They've killed Pylite Eye, but that's just a Crystal Maiden. Arme, he rocks up to the fight with his Midas. He's got a lot of attack speed inside this Chronosphere. The Earth Splitter is there to combo it in CCNC. No BKB, no way out. He dies. The buybacks kicking in from both sides, Rubik and CM. Using these buybacks to try and take this fight. Yuar has come to this one with the God's Ring. One more stun. He's going to get Arme. Big kill for Yuar. Showing up to a fight, but unfortunately for him, the Yule Scepter with the Chain Studs, is this going to be enough to bring him down? It sure as hell looks like it. This Leshrac's magic damage, just too damn heavy. The lift onto MSS going to pull him in nice and close. They've got the Sentries and the Dust for the Ghost Walk. MSS, he's still fairly fast with the Wex movement speed. He jukes the Stomp, and it looks like he might survive. FY, he's stolen stun though. And that nuke damage brings him down.
Yeah, FY bought back in that fight, got 2 kills right after, exactly what he needed. I think they could have saved the Faceless Void if the Leshrac used just a tiny bit earlier that Yule Scepter and Pylite die again.
Yep. Slowed up, he shouldn't have any escape. Easy kill as well as the tier 1 tower. Pylite I think just a bit stuck there. Didn't have a TP. He bought back, it was a dieback, but he bought back and TP'd into that fight I assume. And as a result, he was a bit trapped. So it is going to be PSG LGD coming out slightly on top of that fight. Both teams losing some big heroes. The Void goes down, as does the Sven though. Carries dropping. It's the Leshrac though who, to me, is the real winner of that fight, since all the other like mids and carries died. He's level 14.5 now, and suddenly has 1,200 gold on top of that Yule Scepter. And he queues up a BKB, I think recognizing that the magic damage this game is what's going to be the end of him.
I'm wondering what talent he's gonna pick up on level 15. Like 15 strength is tempting, but most of the lashes go for movement speed because you have a Yule Scepter anyway, you get Boots of Travel after, and then you're just zooming in a team fight.
Yep. All that bonus movement speed can feel really nice when you stack it together.
But this kind of a build, just Yule Scepter into BKB, he's gonna run into mana problems.
Here come NEWBEE. They're smoked up. CCNC coming in from behind. They're going to run into X-Nova perhaps. CCNC ignores X-Nova. He's going for the bigger fish. But the stun is there from the Stormhammer, followed up by a Split Earth potentially. CCNC in all sorts of trouble. He desperately needs a BKB, but he's still so far away from one, and they've instantly killed off CCNC, and then Pylite Eye followed up. Death to the Split Earth as the stolen freezing field.
I think they're gonna maybe deal some damage to the tier 3s. Oh, blink. He actually forgot to blink.
That was the head bonk. Yeah, he knows. Straight out of the old Looney Tunes playbook there. Not quite what I was hoping for, but it's a one fight and a tier 2 tower without Void even being needed. Void's just sitting mid lane farming with his Midas, and they'll happily take that trade.
Sven's still on top of net worth, getting closer to his BKB. And Lesh just bought Boot of Travel, went for that movement speed talent. 500. But this kind of a build, it's more greedy, getting a Boot of Travel at this point. But you can have full mana. And the Boot of Travel will pay off in 5 to 10 minutes.
It just feels so nice with this movement speed playing against heroes like Gyrocopter that want to get nice and close. Even Sven. It allows you to position and kite so much better in these fights. If they get on top of you, you can just outrun them. You've got a full 100 movement speed advantage over Sven and a 50-60 movement speed advantage over the Gyrocopter.
What do you think about Invoker position 4, at least in this game?
It kind of looked okay in the laning stage, like as far as dealing with ET, but at the same time it's felt a little underwhelming.
Oh, he just ran into them. They're gonna plop a dust.
They're gonna be time walk forward aggressively. It's coming up soon. Charging on forward. Instead, CCNC down bottom. He just got destroyed by the Leshrac ET, and looks like
Zoning ET
NEWBEE
ulti.
dying one by one. He's zone snaking towards the mid lane. Chalice blinks away as well. You up the God Strength for that one, and they're just chasing more. God Strength being used. NEWBEE, they're on the back foot here. They're gonna barely dodge the Echo Stomp there as Somnus was hoping to find another kill.
Phase Boots on position 5 Elder Titan. I would not mind seeing him getting Wind Lace on top of that.
Just all the movement speed items. Full stuff queued up for now, but things starting to slip away quickly for NEWBEE. PSG LGD are playing some very crisp, clean Dota here. Definitely a team that has kind of quietly come into this international. Not really talked about as one of the favorites, but definitely after they run last year, they're coming back playing with the same roster and have had just a solid year. They convincingly, easily qualified for TI fairly early on, and I think seeing them at the top of TI would not be out of the realm of possibility.
We didn't talk too much about LGD, what their chances are of winning this whole thing, but I think everyone would expect them to be a top contender for sure.
Yeah. There are certain teams you look at and you're like, yeah, that's a team that's going to win championships. The way, you look at, that's like Liquid in the past, OG, VP, Secret. That's what you say when you see LGD and VG Gaming as far as the Chinese teams go. It wouldn't be a surprise or a shock if LGD won a TI.
Not at all.
Big fight breaking out here. They're going to take out the ET to start the fight off. It is the Zen BKB timing, but Chalice with the Stampede trying to kite this one. He's got the pipe here. He's going to pop it on himself. He's got no backup quite in range just yet. FY Stormhammer is dodged by UR. Nicely played here, but it's a very tanky Centaur stun still. As he does get off the Hoof Stomp, Fire Blast is there. Void comes in, drops the Chronosphere, catches out 2, wants to go for Yuara. It looks like they need the Leshrac damage. The Split Earth follows up the Chronosphere, the Stolen Stormhammer as well, but Leshrac doesn't have the damage to kill for Yuara. He's just too tanky. And they're being forced back, and NEWBEE, they're charging forward. They want more kills. Somnus is being chased down by a homing missile. He's going to need to...
speedy.
Yeah, he's got the Yules as well. Does he pop it? No, he's just going to take the stun. Whoa. Whoa. Armin. He's in deep. He's surrounded by the entire enemy team. He's been taken out. ET's now being tornadoed up as well, and NEWBEE are winning this fight. Yuara with the God Strength is just cleaning up, and Pilot Eye gets a double kill on the end.
What could
Really
have been
good fight.
only one kill for NEWBEE turned out to be extremely good for them because they could just left Elder Titan there. He's position 5. Sven used BKB to kill him. They're kind of hesitating whether they want to take a fight or not. It's one of those, we're going to follow our teammate into that.
Yeah. Well, one by one they fell down there, and I think for LGD, you've kind of got to settle things down a bit, play around what is very likely going to be BKB timings. Leshrac has one queued up. Void doesn't have one queued up just yet. He's finishing the Mjolnir, but you got to imagine it's probably the item to come afterwards because against these NEWBEE heroes, BKB is going to be the name of the game.
He desperately needs that BKB on Faceless Void.
Somnus trying to farm up the enemy jungle, but has hit level 18 with the Bloodstone completed, so he's getting even tankier, a lot more health to play around with now as well.
At one point, whole NEWBEE's jungle was warded. Now they only have one observer ward in the base, which reveals the items that Courier is bringing, any smokes from the base.
Are NEWBEE looking to keep fighting with this BKB on Sven now? I think they've... Was this a Blink Dagger now as well? Yeah, he's got BKB and Blink.
It's go time. They just need to outpush on mid lane a little bit, and the Invoker just used Meteor to push it out. Also top lane's being pushed in, so they need to do something about it. Double BKB. It's go time for NEWBEE.
They're ready to fight. And as far as answers to BKB go, LGD have got the Chronosphere, but they haven't got the best damage in Chronosphere if they're BKB. More likely than not, they're just looking to disengage using Stampede as far as playing into BKBs go. NEWBEE smoked up. FY, he's got Blink Dagger. He's going to pop the smoke and then blink away instantly. You are trying to charge forward, and then even goes for a blink to follow, but will not catch FY, so good positioning from FY's Rubik.
And that's going to be their last smoke outside of NEWBEE. Not sure if they have any in shop left, but it's going to be hard to approach a team fight with just going around, especially with ET scouting things out with the Spirit.
They may look to just use this Ghost Walking Invoker, kind of like as a Nyx Assassin, this scouting tool. It feels like MSS's job is just to run around the map and try to find some pickoffs for the team, or at least get info. Definitely what we're seeing a little bit. Centaur. Near a lot of enemy heroes. He's going for an extra creep or two. He needs to be careful. He needs to blink now. Blinks out to the high ground. FY, though, he does not have the blink out. He's going to get picked off. Dead for 70 seconds as well.
They tried to go for a Roche, even though it's a really scary.
Bottom lane
Getting
now.
Roche against Elder Titan and Faceless Void.
Somnus
Can they chase more? Oh well, now it's Roche time. Sven popped the God Strength.
Leshrac is forcing Heroes bottom, though. He split pushed a little bit, forced the CM as well as the Invoker to rotate in, but those are not heroes they need to kill Roshan. Ignite from Roshan into the neutral camps. That
they should know something is up.
Yeah. Where the hell's that Ignite coming from? But they know something's up too late. Roche already dropping. They're going to be too late for this one. And Somnus may be in trouble now. He gets stunned up by the Stormhammer. He holds onto the Yule Scepter. Doesn't dodge. He's still doing a lot of AoE damage. Snaking getting brought fairly low, as is the Gyrocopter. The Gyrocopter pops the BKB, though. He's caught outside the Chronosphere, doing what damage he can, but the Chronosphere takes up both Sven and Ogre, and CCNC in some trouble. He may have an Aegis, but that BKB's now worn off, and Somnus, he's chasing him down.
Oh, he was hesitating with a stun, but
They get
Leshrac
the
will
slow for the
connect.
lightning.
He's done.
He'll have a stun now. MSS, what can he do? Can he hit a tornado? Looks like he's going to go for the cold snap instead. Helps out CCNC. Now the buybacks come in. The Sven buys back as the TP to the tier 2 tower. Blinks in as well. They're saving CCNC, and Somnus in all kinds of trouble now. Cold Snap has one off. Chalice goes blinking in forward to try help his buddy out. They've lost CM though. And Ame is just so scary in the front lines with this Mjolnir. He just goes launching in forward looking for MSS. Doesn't get the first hit bash though. As a result, he gets forced back. Has got the Time Walk cooldown.
That was a buyback from Yavar. He didn't even have ulti, he just wanted to save the gyro. I'm pretty sure that's not worth it for them. Because they didn't get any kills out of that.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to get the kills there. They weren't just hoping to save his life, but PSG LGD did a really good job disengaging. And now following that one up, they march forward, they group up. They have no Chronosphere for 45 seconds on the PSG LGD side, but it does look like they're going to stall this game out until their BKBs come up. Both BKBs nearing completion. 600 gold for Somnus and about 1,000 gold needed for Ame.
Yeah. At this point, Gyro doesn't deal that much physical damage at all with the item build that he went for, so Sven will need to address these BKB carriers.
Even the Sven, I feel like his physical damage is obviously significant, but it's not incredible. Like, he hasn't got that follow-up item. It's BKB Blink, and that's where he's still at. Needs that crit of sorts. Enemy jungle, Pile dive, caught out. Tornado is there, but they've got the follow-up damage. Now 19 Bloodstone charges on Leshrac.
And that's a BKB for him. He can TP back with the BOTs.
Yep, does just that.
They're waiting for Faceless Void's BKB. He also just hit level 20. Cast range, Time Walk on level 15. Also needs to use that massive Pidus. There he goes.
Phew. That was stressful. We're just doing what we can to push our lanes. 2 points in the Exort, so not the scariest or high-level Invoker just yet, but we will see that Invoker transition into the Ag Scepter and try to get some more levels to well and truly scale into that late-game Invoker that we all know and love. Sven up top just trying to get what farm he can as well to work towards his next time. There we go. Has the Crystallis queued up, so... Did have a Bloodthorn queued up earlier. We'll see just... Looks like the crit stick. And then he can figure out if he wants to go Daedalus or Bloodthorn.
Smoke from LGD. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah. Well, the team's playing around each other though. Could see a big team fight breaking out. They see Pile die now. He's dewarding. Not the ideal target to go for, but they may just take the CM. Quick easy kill. Stolen.
Easy Bloodstone charge.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna take probably 2 towers on this side. Might even continue. Try to threaten a high ground a little bit with the Edict. Centaur double damage, also building some retaliate stack charges.
I think if you're a newbie, you're just looking to shove out these other lanes. MSS.
Yeah, this is the thing that I mentioned in the previous series. Safe lane towers are not dying. See, tier 1 on the bottom still standing, and they just killed the tier 1 tower on top.
29 minutes in, the safe lane tier 1 tower goes down as Somnus leads the charge with the Edict. They get not just 1, but 2 towers, so a good chunk of gold and map control taken away from NEWBEE. As PSG LGD perhaps going to be eyeing off next Roshan here. It's not going to be respawning for quite some time as they look to play around some of these new item timings. Chalice has a Lotus Orb picked up now. FY looking to build towards an Ag Scepter. But the double BKBs is really the scary timing, which is where we're at right now. You don't feel good as a 4-position Invoker, like you can do a whole lot when these BKBs kick in.
Smoke. This is being pinged out. They know something is up. I think he just scouted him with the Spirit.
In goes Yawar, but the BKB is popped just to dodge the Stormhammer to stop Yawar from doing a whole lot. Yawar needs to BKB himself. He does BKB, but he's caught inside a Chronosphere. Have they got the damage to kill him off? The Earth Splitter follow-up is there. Brings 2 in, nice and close. Yawar blocks a lot of the damage with his BKB, but the right clicks, CC and Yawar are both so incredibly low. Yawar trying to juke into the trees. He's going to just turn and fight. He actually turns and kills. Ame goes down. X-Nova with the Stomp keeps the CM in place, stopping the freezing field from coming in, and Yawar just TPs on out. Nice Tornado disengaged, and Ame got deleted. CM will go down, but NEWBEE have a decent team fight.
Everyone was so low, but they could not manage to bring them down. Also, CCNC, deeper to Shrine. He's going to pick up 2 bounty runes for his team.
Yep. Scans it to be sure he's safe. And oh, needs to be careful. Oh no. CCNC, he thought he was safe after using the scan. Somnus is going to look to go for this one. He uses the Bloodstone just to heal himself up a little bit. The Ogre not stunning immediately. There's going to be a Sunstrike, but it's just not a whole lot of damage, and it looks like they will barely save CCNC as Somnus does end up going down. Yoav rotates in himself with the BKBs on cooldown. There was no defensive play for Leshrac to make. Are they going to try and kill Chalice here? He's very, very tanky. Stolen Freezing Field from FY on the backlines here, but he gets stunned and that gets cancelled, and PSG LGD are just dying one by one. They're being outplayed by NEWBEE.
NEWBEE, what seemed to be a really bad engagement. Sven blinks in, uses a stun on Leshrac, who just pops a BKB, and then uses Edict to deal some of the damage. I think they could have just backed off there. Now Sven's going to take the tower on the bottom lane. Free tier 1.
He's got that Solar Crest buff as well. Such a key item to have on these utility heroes. Buffing up your carry with Solar Crest is just such a nice improvement to have.
The thing you don't notice is how much damage Ogre deals in a team fight because of the attack speed that he has from Bloodlust, Hand of Midas, and he went for damage talent.
Plus 100 damage on
But
Ogre.
you do not want to focus Ogre in a team fight. He's so tanky. He has a Solar Crest and Pipe, so he just stands there and hits people.
Well, PSG LGD will be kicking themselves a bit about that last team fight. It feels like they were the ones that chased for the kills and ultimately got baited in because of how low both Sven and Jarrow were. But the BKB is being used, stopping all that damage inside the Chronosphere. Not just the spell damage of the Leshrac, but even stuff like Time Lock damage being magical.
Sven is not the target that they want to focus, especially if he pops a BKB.
Yeah.
Just kill the others and try to kite around the Sven.
Even all the bonus strength from God Strength make him so incredibly tanky there. Well, things will settle down and we're back to a fairly even game. A roller coaster of a graph, as we can see here. The net worth only just under a 2k gold lead. Oh, even lower now. It's a 1k gold lead for LGD. There's things not going quite according to plan. I'll look to maybe drag the game. If it goes late game, Void, level 25 Void with a lot of items, I do feel like the Sven is going to have issues keeping up and being kited around with that BKB getting down to 5 seconds. You've got to worry about what you are going to do in a team fight, but for now, still an 8-second BKB.
Yeah, both carries on NEWBEE will fall off if this game goes past the 50-60 minute mark.
That is definitely the big concern. Leshrac will be very happy the longer this game goes when those BKBs get shorter. Even heroes like Centaur can be such a beast in the late game.
And it's really pain in the ass to play against Leshrac, who's level 25 with the Edict damage and Boots of Travel. Leshrac also bought a book for himself to get him closer to that 25. Void is going to have enough money soon to buy a full Lincolns.
Did hear a gem being dropped somewhere. Is that Centaur? Yeah, Centaur's got a gem now. Cecil TP on out. Doesn't want to get caught there. I believe Void has the money for the Lincolns now if he wants to give up his buyback. And there we go, he'll buy it. Next Roshan, respawning anytime. It will be a minute and 20 seconds from now. Something we know but the teams do not. He will be posturing around this Roshan pick constantly. Forge Spirits, summons being used to scout it out.
This Lotus Orb is doing so much work removing the stuns. It's great against Jarrow to echo the rocket back, also removing the Spirit Vessel. Ogre almost has enough money to buy a full Hex. Multicast a Hex in a team fight.
Sounds pretty damn nice to me.
Sounds like we're about to see some Ice Frog dropped in the chat.
He's picked it up. Full Hex completed. Went for the GPM talent. We did see that one Ogre go for cast range, and often it's, you know, you get to this late game stage and you kind of wish you maybe had that cast range, but early on GPM is just so good. You would not have that Hex by now if not for the GPM.
Roche will respawn in 5 seconds. They're scouting it out. Also, there's a Forward Spirit inside.
We've seen Dire scouting out with that Astral Spirit a little bit. There you go. Rosh respawn. Pings come out. That's the plan. Neither team can really easily commit to it unless they know exactly where their opponents are. But both teams will be looking to win a team fight around this Roshan pit so they can follow up by taking out Roshan and grabbing that Aegis. Here we go. Lesh has hit level 25. Edict explosion damage.
Somnus knows something is up.
Ooh, looking for a blind dust.
Invoker was scouting him out.
Oh, Rubik has Ags, by the way.
So does Invoker now.
Okay, both 4 positions getting a lot of farm this game. Invoker at level 16 with that Aghanim Scepter.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not quite the levels you'd like to maybe see on Invoker, but still decent. There's a healthy amount of Exor points now as well. And Void going for the backtrack, not the Chronosphere AoE. Wants that survivability.
Yeah, and this position for Invoker, if he hits level 20, Cataclysm, that's insane. Like the amount of the damage that you can deal with your position 4 hero.
And I imagine he's taking the Tome of Knowledge at 40 minutes. He's probably the most... I mean, Gyro's... I mean, level 25 home missiles is nice, but it's not that crazy. Invoker hitting level 20 seems like the big timing where they get a whole lot scarier.
I want to see that Hex multicasted in a team fight. Just hacks the whole team.
Both teams keeping away from one another. Heading into late game Lacoste. This is the stage
This
of
is
the
what
game
we want to see, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, crazy late game Dodo. An Ogre with a Hex is definitely one of those crazy late game things. Roshan, only Rosh number 2, so no Ags, no refreshes just yet. Not quite the crazy late game stage until those refreshes and Ags come in, but PSG LGD, they're looking to get to that late game point. They're trying to smoke up, see what they can do to catch people by surprise. They scan this area so they know if they can kind of make their move on in. They're going to maybe catch NEWBEE by surprise. They're coming in, flanking them from behind. NEWBEE themselves is smoked up around this Roshan pit. Here comes Chalice. Can he get a good stun to lead things off here?
Oh, wrong way.
Nope. They're kind of camping out this top lane. They see the Forward Spirit around mid. I think they have an idea of where this Invoker might be. Do they see anyone? They have no vision in this mid lane. They will see them coming towards them soon. Army is on the high ground here. They get the Blink stun, they initiate in, they're going to go in the Invoker. This is such a big kill to get. He's got buyback, instantly uses it. Pilot Eye gets jumped by the Void. He pops the BKB as well. Chronosphere could be used, catches out 2, locks him down in the BKB. Centaur War Run, he's very tanky. He's getting down nice and low. Has got the Solar Crest to keep him alive. He gets off another hoof stop though, and with Somnus' magic damage, they're just shredding apart NEWBEE. The BKBs are worn off. The Chaos Beam, Deafening Blast, MSS, his Invoker with the Freezing Field. So much damage coming out. Leshrik's getting low. He's trying to nuke his way through this one. He hasn't quite got the damage. They kill off the Gyro ever so slightly. Just there was FY. And PSG LGD themselves going to start committing buybacks. The Void does not have one though. He's dead in this fight. Dead for 90 seconds. FY dead as well. Chalice, he's getting down low. He sees his buyback is going to be just enough to kill him off. And
That's
it's
a dieback
NEWBEE
from Chalice.
dying back on Chalice.
They're going to pop the Shrine and
Yeah.
they should instantly go into Roche Pit because Sven bought back in the fight. He wants that Aegis. Even though Sven is not the best Aegis carrier. 1, 2, 3 buybacks on side of 4 actually. Also
4.
CCNC bought back. I think CCNC is going to pick up the Aegis instead. These
4 buybacks
transformation
on,
heroes are
on
not
NEWBEE.
the best Aegis carriers.
And it was, what, 2 buybacks on PSG LGD, but the problem was
They even
PSG
caught the Leshrac on bottom. BKB 1 second.
Oh, he's going to go for the TP out, yeah. Oh, man. That may have bought them time to contest Roshan. No. Roche easily claimed. Aegis cheese. Aegis on CCNC. What a big team fight to win if you're NEWBEE. Having those buybacks made all the difference. And PSG LGD, they committed in hard, knowing that they killed off the Invoker. But NEWBEE, it's so important to have buyback around these Roshan fights because often you have to throw away your lives and basically kind of have a calculated feed to win your team a fight. That's exactly what ended up happening for NEWBEE. Whereas Void, Rubik, these
He
heroes
did not
didn't
have a buyback. Yeah, Faceless Void went all in with the items, bought the Eagle Song, still has that Hand of Midas. Even with the backtrack, they managed to bring him down.
Buybacks is the name of the game. That's what won the fight for NEWBEE. That Invoker came back in and did so much damage.
And Invoker just bought the Dome.
There we go.
That's gonna get him to level 20.
Cataclysm.
BKB on Ogre, getting closer to level 25 as well.
There's a dieback from center as well in that team fight, so he's still respawning.
No one has a buyback at this point besides Elder Titan.
I guess Void is kind of close theoretically, farms a little bit more gold, but he also may just want to buy his butterfly. We'll see what he opts for. Will NEWBEE look to break high ground or anything while they've got this Aegis? Wait and see.
Dire are scanning.
Bounty runes. Somnus will snag that one. Picks up the soul booster, so looking for that Octarine core.
He does not have a buyback, so he's going all in on the items.
Makes sense. May not buy a gem, knowing how important this vision control is going to be.
Elder Titan still keeping his gem. If they get a good Earth Splitter and the Chrono on multiple heroes, I still think LGD can win this fight easily, but they need to wait for Aegis to be gone.
And that's... And then if they wait for Aegis to be gone, there's going to be this couple-minute windows where there's no Aegis and there's no buyback. Both NEWBEE carries bought back in that fight. So even though NEWBEE walk away with Aegis and Cheese and perhaps feel like they won that fight, they had to commit so many buybacks that...
They just need to drag the game
Yeah.
post-Aegis, because Faceless Void will have a buyback and he's going to have this big item.
If he can have, butterfly plus buyback and then you wait out the Aegis,
Yeah.
it is PSG LGD who have this kind of slightly scarier looking late game, I gotta say. But I'm gonna get there. I mean, we're at 42 minutes. We are in the late game, but there's that kind of late game and then there's the real late game, which is where Agceptors, refreshes, and all that kick in, which will be Rosh number 3, which is the next Roshan. Not respawning for some time. I mean, we're talking about next Roshan when there's still an Aegis on Gyrocopter. But it doesn't seem like NEWBEE is that intent on pushing high ground with Aegis. And you can't really blame them, because even with Aegis, if you get CC&C on the high ground, they can just kill him twice.
Yeah, for sure. Now he has a Satanic, so some of the stuns are not going to last that long. Centaur is level 23, getting close to level 25. I remember some of the meme games, Gyro against the Centaur, where he gets Retaliate Aura for his team and Gyro just dies because of the flag cannon. But the Hoof Stomp duration always feels like a better talent.
Yeah, having longer duration on stuns is like... It just sounds like something you always want. With the Satanic, that shorter duration, though, meant that the Stomp didn't actually hit. Now he goes in, Flick Hoof Stomp, CC&C, doing what he can just to turn and reflects the homing missile, so CC&C getting stunned himself. Just trying to kite and buy time. You want this Aegis to expire, and I say that they're going for the Chainsaw, they're going for the Earthblade. CC&C BKBs, the Satanic, this status resistance, helping him out, blocking a lot of damage by getting the BKB
now,
off. Yeah.
because Aegis is going to expire, no BKB.
He almost hit that Hoof Stomp, but CC&C got out just in time. 40 seconds on that Aegis, and yeah, NEWBEE are not breaking high ground. It's just so hard to siege. Even with CC&C having the status resist to get away from some of these stuns.
I love talking about level 25 talent. This is when the game becomes interesting.
Yes.
What would be your real-life level 25 talent?
Real life level 25 talent?
Yeah.
I would say it is the ability to snap my fingers and have coffee in my hands.
Wow. Mine right now is
Coffee on demand.
being tired without doing anything.
Wait, you want to be tired without
No,
doing
no,
anything?
that's my level 25 talent right now in real life.
Okay.
CM,
Jeez, Pilot die. This is,
he's just fishing for some info.
there's a blink and a TP.
Shield guard.
Bash. Got it. Probably not really worth it for that one extra creep wave. And Ame, by the way, learning his lesson, doesn't buy the butterfly until he's got buyback as well. I think his team probably chewed him out a little bit for that previous team fight where he didn't have buyback. Things are still pretty settled here. Neither team convincingly has an edge. I mean, we talk about PSG LGD's draft in this ultra late game being that little bit scary because of the void factor and the short BKBs make it hard for a Sven, but it's still, you know, a lot of burst damage can come out from this Sven. Gyrocopter with the Satanic can always turn fights around with that status resist and the ability to just heal up to full.
Faceless Void was always one of the strongest late game carries, and now with the introduction of Aghanim Scepter that you can consume, and also a Moon Shard, like he can play this game in 80 minutes. It's gonna be so good, lowering the cooldown on Chronosphere if it comes to that.
They get a high ground ward here in the side. Invoker's not joining the fray just yet, trying to get some split push going in the top lane. Just trying to force some rotations back to defend. What's FY stealing here? Oh, stolen Bloodlust. That's so nice.
That's really big for Faceless Void.
Top lane being ignored. They don't care about the creeps there. They want to go for this high ground push. Somnus, he gets jumped on by the BKB UR. He didn't get his own BKB off in time, but the Chronosphere is there. He's going to set up a Cataclysm, and the Cataclysm inside the Chronosphere army. He absolutely destroys his own teammate. He tried to help him out. You can't really blame him, but the end result is it was the easiest Cataclysm of Invoker's life. It's the Void Invoker combo.
He tried to save him there, but the Cataclysm on top of it just finished him off. Yeah. Roche may respawn in 50 seconds. Also, they lost a tier 3 tower to siege units on top.
I'm sure Ame's going to get memed a bit about that one, but if he doesn't Chrono, he's going to die because he can't get off his BKB. So the Chrono was an attempted save. But if anything, that's on... Maybe he needs to pop his BKB before that Stormhammer hits. He can't afford to get blink stun there. If he's going to go on the high ground, he has to be quicker with his BKB. NEWBEE as a result, they want to force out these buybacks. ET's still dead for only 10 seconds. He's unlikely to use his. It's the Leshrac, dead for 70.
Bloodlust and Alacrity. Look at the attack speed. Pew, 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 pew.
Oh boy. He is one fast-hitting machine. As they will just... Well, are they going to give this one up? Next Chronosphere not up for 48 seconds, and that's why NEWBEE feels so confident to push high ground.
Solar Crest on top of that.
Yep, the Hope Storm's there. Right as the Rax got down to 1 health, they absolutely bait it, but it will finish. He gets finished off by the Axe Scepter. He pops the cheese. CCNC looking to turn this one, and NEWBEE will happily retreat as PSG LGD don't get the kill. I think they were pretending to give up the Rax, and they jumped the Gyrocopter when the Rax had 15 health. Catching him by surprise, but ultimately he had the cheese to get it off and turn it around, and
oh, the Roche spawn, the early Roche spawn, plus a Bloodthorn, he's gone. That's going to be a refresher shard.
Probably.
I assume they're going to give that to Invoker.
I was going to say Invoker. Sven is pretty good on too for the double Godstring, double BKB, but it's Ogre. Refresher Hex.
He can actually hex the whole team. You can hex 5 people.
Okay. What if you multicast Refresher? Doesn't work. I know everyone in Twitch chat was thinking it. You know, it was a reasonable thing to think about, but no, that's one mechanic. Not coming in next patch. There's going to be some multicast Refresher. Don't ask me how it works. So, it's NEWBEE with winning these fights that lead into Roches. It was the same as the last one as well.
Yeah, I apologize to Ogre. I forgot about my boy Ogre having a hex.
It's got that 300 Fire Blast damage too. This is where the late game Ogre can be a bit of a beast as well. He's keeping on a Refresher queued up. He wants triple Hex, triple Fire Blast. I mean, it's 8-second cooldown, so it's not really about the Fire Blast.
He also has the Fire Blast damage talent on level 25. So 540 damage with Spell Amp. That's going to get him to
586 times 4. You know, it's an Ogre. He's multicasting times 4. I believe it.
2,000 damage.
Yep.
From your Q. Not bad, huh?
Yeah, he's going to be deleting people. Here we go. Chalice. Both teams posturing around some of these bounty runes. PSG LGD want to take a fight. CM is in the top lane. They may actually get the jump. Since he's got the Aegis, though. Not the ideal target to go, and he drops the heals. He can get the BKB off, though. I think trying to just bait it out. They're not hard committing. They know that he's got the Aegis as well as a BKB, so they can't go and throw everything in. Chalice gets hexed up. The Chronosphere comes in, gets killed on the backlines. Where's the follow-up damage, though? I don't think they've got it. The Earthsplit is coming in. It might be too late, though. They've killed off the Invoker to start things off. Instantly buying back. Ame needs some time to walk away. His BKB was wearing off. They just decide to get out, and X-Nova may be left to die here. Luckily for him, he's going to Stampede, but though the rotation from Crystal Maiden gets him with a Frostbite, and then CCNC will finish the kill, losing the gem.
Sendar popped the ulti. They try to save the gem, but they're going to lose both X-Nova and FY.
Yeah, FY.
Still chasing.
Not sure what he was up to, but he was down in the
FY
bottom
does
lane.
not have a buyback.
Yeah, I think recognizing that, they're going to instantly buy back on X-Nova, but he's got no Earth Split for some time, and Chronosphere also down. There's 80 seconds without Chrono. This could just be Rax. They could go for Mega. I don't know how LGD can defend. We're going to find out. Cataclysm. Force up, pushes him away. The Hex is there. In the front lines, here's CCNC doing some good damage. He's just trying to focus down this Rax.
CC has no mana. CC.
Mid lane, hiding going on here as the BKB popped on Somnus. CCNC going to get stunned up. He's still got this Aegis, but as you said, out of money. He's being burst down. That looks like the Aegis will be popped. Nicely played, but the Sven going to look to counterplay this one. Blinks in with the BKB Godstring. Actually, sorry, no Godstring up, and without that, he's a bit lacking damage, but is there going to be enough? It looks like he will have the Leshrac, but the Leshrac instantly buying back. In goes the boy with the BKB. Wants to bring down UR. UR taking so much damage. Arme with the BKB shreds him apart. He time walks in forward, looking for more. He's not going to find it. Hiding in the trees is the Crystal Maiden.
They need to find one more kill.
They're looking, they're hunting. CCNC TP out. He's going to make it. The BKB TP from Snake King. Where's the Basher's Arme?
There's the clap from Ogre. Self-clap. We did it, boys.
Oh, he gets himself out of there. Just UR dropping. UR looks so squishy there. I think next to the ET Aura and all that magic damage, the Void is really starting to hurt. They do only lose a range Rax.
It is doing a good job not getting close for the physical damage aura, just using natural order to remove the magical resistance, following the heroes, while Leshrac is just melting them down. A refresher on Lesh. So you can pop the BKB twice, 2 Shiva guards. Can't even use the Bloodstone to heal him up.
Yep. And Rubik hits level 25. That oh so short, 7-second cooldown on telekinesis. They're hunting. Oh, Pylai died. That's a. I think it's. Oh no, he's got buyback. He's not the one who bought back. The Invoker bought back earlier. But hey, quick and easy pick, and they instantly take the Shrine out.
Double damage Void with Solar Crest.
Yeah, spooky stuff.
What's his buyback? 2.6k. Yeah, he can buy the Moonshard right now.
There we go. CM buys back. It's the Sven though you got to watch out for. That's the big carry. Homing missile, bounce back, multiple homing missiles. You gotta be careful about throwing those. CCNC.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
And FY steals it too. Says hello. He doesn't really want to hold on to this one, but he's got Acceptors with that very low cooldown. He's just going to throw this out, then look to steal something new.
What is this?
I mean, it's World War II here. Just homing missiles being thrown out. Double hexes. He got the multicast hex. He hexed up 2 people here. Is there follow-up? Arme. Time walks out. Steals flat cannon.
But Dota is such a funny game in the late game. Yeah. They could have been staffing those rockets as well.
What's he stealing now? Another homing missile. More dispels being thrown around everywhere. Homing missile. Okay, that one's going to be dodged by the BKB. Centaur pops the Stampede. He actually has the pathing with the Aghanim Scepter. The Chronosphere catches up the Sven UR. He's dead with buyback. Is he going to pop it? They lock Crystal Maiden as well. They may just need to use this Sven buyback. They're losing this fight though. Arme, he time walks in forward. He catches out the Invoker. That's a dieback from Invoker. No buyback. It's a 3v5 fight all of a sudden. And that's not looking good for NEWBEE. They bought back the Sven, but this fight looks all but over. CCNC dead for 2 minutes as well. And oh no, this feels like deja vu from yesterday. NEWBEE, you know, picking up these leads, but unable to convert it. It's not over yet, but they've got 3 heroes dead.
This
Only
is why
one with buyback.
What is one of the strongest heroes in the late game. Nicely placed Chronosphere on 2 people, and Sven, he just dies. I mean, status resistance doesn't really help you against the Chronosphere. There was not even Earth Splitter used in the Chrono.
Yeah.
And he still melts. Also,
the Void with Bloodlust, by the way, that entire fight is so nice.
he consumed the Moonshard.
Yep. Arme gets stunned up, but nice 4-staff defensively pulls him out. He's still hexed up. And they got the damage. It's going to be close. Arme gets the time walk away. The 4-staff FY saving his buddy there. Arme, I mean, we've seen him overextend a little bit. That one was close, but that's what these 4-staffs are for. Those exact situations.
They just pop the smoke.
They know there's no buyback on Invoker. And I think, yeah, CM as well bought back, so they know there's no buybacks here. Chalice getting retaliate procs on the tier 4 towers. Wants that bonus right-click damage.
They need to be careful about Ogre multicasting that Hex. He also has a refresher.
That's where the force stuff has to be used. FY, he gets caught in the stun though. Other force stuff, it's X-Nova helping out the second force stuff. He's just pushing him away. He used that refresher to try and burst down the void with the chain hexes. And it just wasn't enough. Now the Fire Blast damage kicking
Multicast,
in.
four
Multicast times 4. He tried to time walk it up, but it just doesn't work. The way the stun stagger, it spreads the damage out. And, well, that doesn't work. Whoopsie daisy.
He has a Chronosphere ready. In a second, he'll probably gonna buy Boots of Travel and TP back.
If not for those force staffs, they actually lose void. The refresher hex is just such a good way to go in him, but force staffs being used to counterplay it.
Dire are scanning.
There's also an Ag Stampede, giving that damage reduction as well as the pathing.
Yeah, Centaur's running out of items at this point.
When you've got Ags, yeah, you want that refresher. He may even just backpack his boots. At the same time, buyback, of course. You're not buying something like a refresher to give up your buyback when you're just a Centaur. Ame in the Roshan pit. Has got that Lincoln's as a counterplay to the Hex. Pylai die. Coming on in close. Ame does not want to start on Roshan. Not yet, at least. He is going to now. Joker scouts out with a Sunstrike. Now Ame's just going to time walk on out.
Ame has a buyback, but maybe needs to be careful.
Yeah, that's the big one to watch. Neither NEWBEE carry has buyback himself. The Leshrac without on the LGD side, and the Gyro Sven without on the Radiant side. Radiant buybacks, they have just 0 buybacks, period, on the Radiant. It's only PSG LGD who can use this Void or the Centaur as bait. Playing around Roshan with buybacks when your opponents don't is such a big
They want to
advantage
bait with
to have.
Faceless Void, that's the thing, because he has Boots of Travel to TP back, has a buyback on top of it. If needed, lanes are in a really good position for them.
Holiday smoked up, trying to get some wards down. Scouts out the pit with the Nova.
Bottom lane is pushing in, someone needs to address that.
Gets this nice high ground ward here, so hoping to use this vision to set something up. And it doesn't look like either team is going to get the jump they were hoping for in the Roshan pit. I mean, like you say, he's just baiting. He's not even hitting Roshan. He doesn't want to die with Roshan low health and give... If you give NEWBEE an Aegis, that's like the worst case scenario. Because then you suddenly buy back and they have Aegis, and you feel like you can't fight.
With the double damage on Faceless Void.
He would love an Aghanim Scepter on Void at this stage of the game. That would make such a big difference, but now, with double damage, he feels like he can go for Roshan. Tornado comes in, that's going to get rid of that double damage. Dispels it off. X-Nova's got to be careful, he does not have buyback, and this ET is a fairly important person in this fight. The Spirit with that aura, combined with that Earth Splitter and a Chronosphere, is a lot of damage that this ET brings to the table in a team fight. But he has got a BKB to help keep himself alive. That's a 5-position ET with BKB.
He can actually stand close to a fight with the BKB, removing their basic armor as well.
And with how long this standoff is going for, a lot of these buybacks are coming back up. Invoker has buyback once again, and Leshrac is coming up soon, only 30 seconds away. It's the Gyro and the Sven buyback that still have 3+ minutes on them.
When they have a Lash buyback, they're gonna go in. That's the play that they want to go for, because they are keeping the track of buyback timings from NEWBEE.
Void, like you say, right with the buyback on the Leshrac coming back online, they're instantly in the pit. 5 seconds away, so it's essentially back up, and NEWBEE, they've kind of shown in this bottom lane, it seems, because LGD feel very safe going for this Roshan. It's going to get scouted out now. Does Pylai go for this? He's got a Blink Dagger, the Sunstrike. Tries to snipe the Aegis, doesn't succeed. And where did that axe go? Was there no... Oh, yeah, Void, right? Yeah, Void got it. Okay, so now we have 6-second cooldown Chronosphere. Such a quality of life improvement in the late game for a Void. You can use that Chronos for solo pickoffs. You don't feel bad about throwing it, even for something like a support kill.
I think he could have gotten that Aghanim Scepter to someone else, because with the Aegis, he's running out of slots. Like, he can't get any bigger. Moonshard is already consumed. He could have bought the Aghanim Scepter for himself and have enough for a buyback anyway.
Okay.
Give it to
Sure.
either Lash or Elder Titan.
I guess, I mean, he was a little bit short of having the buyback plus Ag Scepter with the Sin. But
yeah, but he's gonna get it eventually.
yeah, he will. No, I mean, he's taking the greedier approach. Maybe he wants boots of travel level 2 or something. Refresher, like a backpack refresher even. There's definitely some, you know, crazy late game possibilities, but where's the refresher at? Okay, no, Leshrac has his own refresher. It is refresher shot on Centaur, so not buying. Oh, I think he's got triple Stampede. Yeah,
He got it.
Whew, okay, triple Stampede in this
With
upcoming
40% damage reduction. Good luck, NEWBEE.
Yep. Here we go. NEWBEE's high ground defense going to be tested. How long? Gyrocopter has no buyback for 2 minutes, which means Sven's is also kind of similar. 1 minute without Sven buyback. NEWBEE may just want to delay this and not fully commit. They really want to have these buybacks before they take a team fight. Problem is, Leshrac Void, good high ground
Another
sieges.
stolen bloodlust. Look at this attack speed.
Yeah. Such a good spell to have, using that high ground vision. FY just says, okay, let's go something new. Rocket Barrage, nah, don't like it. Deathling Blast, okay. Let's maybe use this one. He's just cycling through enemy spells.
Bloodlust and the Solar Crest on top of Moon Shard.
FY links in with a lift. They do look for the Chronos. They instantly delete MSS. The buyback comes out immediately. But Rax has already been claimed. The Hex is now there on the Void. Void going to be taken out once. And they got a second way to kill him. Crystal Maiden on the backlines. The BKB is there. Just as safe from the freezing field as the Void with the BKB, though himself doesn't have Chronosphere. He's going to turn and fight. He can't really deal with the Sven damage. Softness, meanwhile, pops the refresher, has a second BKB now if he needs it. CCNC turning and fighting with that Satanic, popping it. He's healing himself back up to full. Softness still, used the second BKB already, needs to be careful now. The Void is incredibly low, does have buyback, forced start time walk away. Now the Sven in the front lines, pops the cheese, keeping himself alive, but he hasn't got Godstring, but he's actually going to deal with Softness. 1 or 2 more right clicks should be enough. They take out 2. NEWBEE have held their high ground. They're going to repel PSG LGD.
Oh, he caught him.
Not.
Even with all these stampedes, they still managed to bring them down. How many buybacks did they use? Only Ogre.
Not many, yeah.
Ogre,
Invoker.
Invoker as well.
Yeah, but the carries, those are the ones you don't want to see being expended if you're NEWBEE. And both your War as well as CCNC win that fight without using buybacks.
Right now, Faceless Void has 9,000 gold. He should be able to afford the refresher and have a buyback pretty soon. Buyback cost almost 4,000 gold.
They're hunting for him. They're coming in. They don't have Hex here, though. They really need that Hex. There we go. Ame, BKB, TP.
It's a 5-second BKB, so you don't want to risk anything. You know that they have no spell that goes through BKB, so you're just going to use it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, without... Well, I think they have 2 Hexes, right? Yeah, CM has 1 as well. That's the only really way you can kill him there is if Ogre shows up. But Ogre, no boots of travel. He did buy back, so he's completely out of gold here on the old Ogre. Buyback number 1 used. PSG LGD want to use as fewer buybacks as possible here to defend. Leshrac maybe holding his. They're just trying to delay this. They hit the sleep instantly, and second buyback comes in with a Chronosphere. They get CCNC. The Stormhammer is there, and Ame, he gets hexed up. He gets stunned as well. Ame needs to be careful. He's in trouble. He's being fire blasted as well with the Cataclysm. The damage, it's enough to kill off the Void. Instantly buying back. Does he have a refresher? He does not have the money to buy it here, so we won't see a second Chronosphere. You are in the front lane trying to heal himself back up with the Satanic. He's doing so with the stun. You are still alive, but he gets stunned up in the end. Does get the kill there.
Both cores from NEWBEE have a buyback.
Yep.
It's go time. Roche may respawn in more than 3 minutes, so they need to force out those buybacks. And this is the last set of Raxes on the bottom. They actually have the range Raxes with 200 HP on top.
It actually ended up being important that Ame had to BKB bottom because he didn't have BKB for his Chrono. He gets stunned there because his BKB is on cooldown.
Ame should buy that refresher right now because he used the buyback. No point in saving the gold. 5,000 gold for refresher.
Unless there's something else he has in mind, but I don't
I think
really
he
see
has
what it would be.
a lot of damage. They just need the second Chrono, I think.
Yeah. And he's getting Bloodlust in these fights. There's not really any other survivability items other than Lincoln's BKB that you need. But we'll see. They may just be playing for, you know, his next buyback. But that's 7 minutes away, so we'll see.
He could get Satanic to have a lifesteal and status resistance against the hexes and all the stuns.
So buyback status. Gyro, Sven, it's now flipped. The script is now in NEWBEE's favor as far as having buybacks go. They've got 2 buybacks on their cores. Problem is they may have to use them now. If they can defend without using them, that would be huge, but these Raxes at bottom
50
are
seconds for
exposed.
Sven. At least one of them has the buyback. Maybe they can try to hold for Gyro without the buyback.
Yeah.
I think that's the plan.
Use the longer one, the one that has a longer respawn time. Name in the front lines gets hexed up. They're just trying to delay this one. Pylite Eye just throwing out his hex to delay. They're not using it to try and initiate. The Deafening Blast pushing them back as well. And Ame's going to TP home. What's the plan here? He's out of mana. That's why he's forced back. The Invoker gets deleted instantly. I think he... Did he just refresh to Boots of Travel?
No.
Oh, yeah,
he
TP scroll.
Even
he
buy
didn't buy anything. Yeah, you're right. He just used his TP scroll to Boots of Travel.
This is so risky, what Somnus is doing right now.
Somnus in the front lines with the Edict. Lotus Orb is there to try to turn this around. CCC actually jumped in. The Chronosphere is there now. Ame commits. He wants to bring down CCC. That's one dead. Does have buyback. Ame just wants to go for the racks during his BKB duration. Doesn't want a hard commit for it, but
they should use the
will.
Centaur ulti and get out.
Yeah, they need to run away from this one. Chalice, he pops a Stampede, but he's been frostbitten in place. And Ame, he's committed hard. He isn't going to buy back here. He's
Where's
in trouble.
Backtrack?
Ame's dead. 2 minutes on the sideline. PSG LGD may have taken the bot lane of Rax, but they're in trouble. They've lost Centaur as well. 2 heroes dead without buybacks. There is a range Rax up top, perhaps.
2 minutes without
Somnus
two
is going
heroes.
for it. He wants the mega creeps. He knows if he gets megas, it's so much harder to push. Does he risk dying?
He has a BKB. If he pops a BKB...
BKB TP out?
Yes.
Yeah, he's
he
going
also has
for
a
it.
refresh.
There's creeps in the base. He's going to just instantly... Oh, there's a glyph. Ogre's here.
He's going to refresh it. Trust me. He's going to refresh it and get the Raxes.
Yeah, and he's going to pop another BKB. BKB TP again.
Yeah.
Somnus gets the megas. At the same time, 90 seconds. They can still kind of push this out, but the problem is it's not a full 5v3. They've got 2 heroes dead themselves. Invoker dead for 40.
They don't have enough time to actually kill the Raxes, I think, on the mid lane. Also, do they have a glyph? Glyph of fortification.
It's just scary
Dire
too
team
because
is ready.
These mega creeps mean these side lanes are going to be pushing out that much faster. So the threat of being like backdoored or losing your base is that much higher. ET, you cannot afford to get caught out here. They think they know where X-Nova is. They're chasing after him. Yeah, they forced out a BKB.
They're just buying time.
But that's still a BKB being committed.
That's a full minute. Sven with the God Strength. I mean, they could try to clear. No one has a buyback at this point.
UR's going for the tier 4 towers. You've got to defend. Where's Leshrac? TPing back to try and stall this one out. They throw out the first stun here. They've got to take this fight. They can't just let NEWBEE take the throne here.
NEWBEE got this one.
They're going for the throw. They're trying to focus it down. UR pops the BKB with the God Strike. They're just deleting the throw. GG, PSG LGD.